Hey, what's up? What's going on? Welcome to English with Dane, a podcast designed to improve your English. As always, I'm your host, Dane, and you can find me on Instagram at English with Dane. If you want a full transcript of this and all future episodes, send me a message, and if you don't use Instagram, send me an email at englishwithdane@gmail.com. Today's episode is about world news, which means we're going to take a look at 3 recent news stories from around the world and, of course, extract a bunch of new vocabulary. So let's start the show. You are listening to the 38th episode of Season 2 of English with Dane. Hit it. Okay, we have officially started the show, so let's get into our first story. The headline reads, Europe reopens many borders, but not to Americans and Asians. Europe is taking a big step toward a new normality as many countries open borders to fellow Europeans after 3 months of coronavirus lockdowns. But even though Europeans love their summer vacations, it's not clear how many are ready to travel again. Tourists from the United States, Asia, Latin America, and the Middle East will just have to wait for now. Europe is expected to start opening up to some visitors from elsewhere next month, but details remain unclear. The European Union Home Affairs Commissioner, Ylva Johansson, told member nations last week that they should open up as soon as possible and suggested Monday was a good date. Many countries are doing just that, allowing travel from the EU, Britain, and the rest of Europe's usually passport-free Schengen travel area, which includes non-EU countries like Switzerland. Greece has emphasized its handling, su manejo, of its outbreak, which saw only 183 deaths. Overall, Europe has seen more than 182,000 virus-linked deaths this year, according to a tally by Johns Hopkins University that also shows Europe has had 2 million of the world's almost 8 million infections. Spain, which on Sunday moved forward its opening to European travelers by 10 days to June 21st, is allowing thousands of Germans to fly to its Balearic Islands for a trial run starting Monday, waiving its 14-day quarantine for the group, so canceling, let's say, the 14-day quarantine. We're changing it up today, so a quick vocabulary check before we move on. First, we have an adjective, fellow, spelled F-E-L-L-O-W. This adjective means sharing a particular activity, quality, or condition with someone or something. The sentence was, Europe is taking a big step toward a new normality as many countries open borders to fellow Europeans after 3 months of coronavirus lockdowns. Whenever I think of the word fellow, I think of presidents giving speeches, dando discursos, because that's how a lot of presidential speeches start in the United States. My fellow Americans, or my fellow citizens.
Good evening, my fellow Americans.
Fellow citizens.
My fellow citizens.
My fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans.
Fellow citizens.
My fellow citizens.
My fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans.
Then we have the word elsewhere, spelled E-L-S-E-W-H-E-R-E. This one is an adverb. The sentence was, Europe is expected to start opening up to some visitors from elsewhere next month, but details remain unclear. Elsewhere means in, at, or to some other place or places. Another example could be, he quit his job and is now looking elsewhere, en otra parte. All right, next headline. More than 10,000 march in Zurich against racism. More than 10,000 people marched through Zurich on Saturday to demonstrate against racism, while a smaller leftist group, apart from the main protest, threw objects at police as the march was winding down. Chanting Black Lives Matter, No Justice, No Peace, and Say His Name, George Floyd, the protesters, most clad entirely in black, snaked through the center of Switzerland's financial hub, joined by thousands more in other Swiss cities. Demonstrations have been held around the world against racism and police abuse since the death of African-American George Floyd in Minneapolis last month. Even though Swiss gatherings of more than 300 people are banned or forbidden to help curb the spread of the new coronavirus, police said they would tolerate the unauthorized assembly as long as it remained peaceful. As the main march was dispersing, authorities clashed with a separate group of around 300 agitators gathered in a square in the city center who were throwing stones and bottles, police said. A few good words in this one. In this case, we're going to take a look at two at a time, okay, dos a la vez, because they are in the same sentence. I'm talking about clad and snaked. Here's the sentence again. Chanting Black Lives Matter, No Justice, No Peace, and Say His Name, George Floyd, the protesters, most clad entirely in black, snaked through the center of Switzerland's financial hub. Okay, firstly, the word clad, spelled C-L-A-D, means dressed, vestido. So most clad entirely in black means most dressed entirely in black. It's not a super common way to say dressed, but you'll hear it from time to time. The other one was snaked, so to snake as a verb. I'm sure you haven't heard this one. In this case, the verb is referring to how a snake moves, right? The manner in which they move, la manera en la que se mueven. So the protesters snaked through the center. Then we had another verb you maybe haven't heard before, to curb, spelled C-U-R-B. To curb means to restrain, repress, or hold back. So let's look at the sentence again. Even though Swiss gatherings of more than 300 people are banned to help curb the spread of the new coronavirus, police said they will tolerate blah, 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 blah. So in this case, they are trying to reduce and control the spread of the virus. They're trying to curb the spread of the virus. There's a TV show called Curb Your Enthusiasm that I really like, starring Larry David, one of the creators of Seinfeld. And if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. Unless you don't like uncomfortable day-to-day situations, because this show is basically about that. The last one is a phrasal verb, to wind down. To wind down means to relax or calm down after stress or excitement. The sentence was something, 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 and then while a smaller leftist group, apart from the main protest, threw objects at police as the march was winding down. So when the march was already finishing and people were leaving. Okay, one more headline before I go. Israel deports U.S. billionaire son for breaking virus rules. Israel said Sunday it was deporting the son of American media magnate Sherry Redstone for violating the country's coronavirus quarantine rules while paying a secret visit to his model girlfriend. Israel's Population and Immigration Authority said it had granted Brandon Korf an exceptional permit to enter the country on Friday to visit his brother who is serving in the Israeli military. It said Korf violated the isolation orders from the moment he entered the country and met his Israeli partner, so his girlfriend, and stayed with her in the same apartment. It said Korf, son of the chairwoman of Viacom CBS, was ordered to leave the country immediately. Israel banned entry to non-citizens or residents in March in an effort to clamp down on the spread of the novel coronavirus. Israel requires all individuals entering the country to remain in quarantine for 2 weeks following their arrival, su llegada. So one last vocab check. Granted. From the verb to grant, the sentence was, Israel's Population and Immigration Authority said it had granted Brandon Korf an exceptional permit to enter the country, blah, blah, blah. To grant means to agree to give or allow. Otorgar in Spanish. He was granted, fue otorgado, an exceptional permit. Finally, we have the phrasal verb to clamp down, spelled C-L-A-M-P space down. It means to suppress or prevent something from happening. The sentence was, Israel banned entry to non-citizens or residents in March in an effort to clamp down on the spread of the novel coronavirus. So in a way, it's similar to curb. All right, that's it for today's World News episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you practiced your listening and that you are feeling more confident. And of course, I hope you learned something and that this episode was useful to you. Let me know what you think. Write to me at English with Dane on Instagram and follow me for quizzes and extra content. If you don't already, follow the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And remember, the best way to support English with Dane is to give it a 5-star rating and leave a review, as well as sharing it with friends, family, or anyone who you think would enjoy it. All right, talk soon. Bye-bye.